Hey everyone, I'm Erica. This is Natasha. And I'm going to show you how to make chocolate. I've been eating tons of chocolate that I've been making at home lately, and it's been so great. I've been eating it every day, more than once a day, most days, and it's been so helpful, especially for my bowel health, which not all of us want to hear about, but it's been really great. I'm using coconut oil, organic extra virgin coconut oil, and there's a lot of fiber in the cacao powder, the raw cacao powder. So the two of those together, the oil for some oleation and the fiber, have just been moving things along like never before. It's fantastic. So what I use, unfortunately my head is cut off, but I wanted you to see what I'm actually doing. And it's really salty. I use one of these little Pyrex glass bowls, and I have a pot of water on the stove. Pot with just a little bit of water, just like maybe an inch of water. An inch? Actually, probably just half an inch of water. And it's already heating up. It's just on a medium heat, and I'm gonna put the bowl into the water after I put some coconut oil in. So I use either a spoon, or I have this really nice flat old school bread knife that is not sharp at all, and it's really...
You don't really cut yourself, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, and it's really nice, really easy. I find it's really great to use to cut up the coconut oil, and you just need to kind of shave it, cut it up into smallish bits. And can you stop? So I don't use any measurements for this. I just totally wing it every time, which means it comes out different every time, but that's okay. It's part of its charm. So this is cacao butter, which I just bought a couple of days ago because it happened to be 50% off at Lifestyle's best health food store in town. So I haven't really been using this for the last, it's been about a month that I've been making this, but if you happen to have it, it's a nice addition. It makes it a bit more, bit richer, bit more, well, just richer. And you would use it with the oil to kind of equal, and I just put a tiny bit in. You can do like half and half of cacao butter and coconut oil. So I just put the butter, or the oil, sorry, into the pan. Maybe I'll turn this a little bit so you can see. So the pan's on the stove, and the water's not boiling. I never bring it to a boil, so I put the bowl right in there with the water. And then I start adding my other bits and pieces. I was using mesquite powder, and I'm very sad to say that I'm all out. I mean, there's a couple of little crumbly bits left in there, but the mesquite powder, I wish you could smell this over the internet. It smells so good. But the mesquite powder is a really nice flavor to put in there, and it's a little bit sweet, has a little bit of a sweetening, can you stop? Power, so it's a really nice addition, and then you don't need to add any sweetener. I am going to add a little bit of stevia today, which you can add, or you don't need to. Can you stop? And right now I'm putting the cacao powder in, which is the highest percentage of powder, of dry, that I put in. I'm using bulletproof upgraded chocolate powder, which I'm buying at Health Essentials, the other and equally best health food store in town. And if you go to Dave Asprey's website and look up Bulletproof Exec, EXEC.com, and read about what he talks about for cacao powder, it'll probably make you be willing to try out his chocolate powder and to just be aware of what to look for in chocolate powders and the amount of toxins that are in, and mold, and things that show up. Can you stop? Things that show up in our chocolate powder that we don't want, our cacao powder. Okay, so I started putting in, and I didn't do this right from the beginning, but I've added it, a little bit of Himalayan sea salt. Another thing that I learned from Dave Asprey, Bulletproof Man, is that to have, I think it's either a quarter or a half teaspoon, he suggests, of salt. Half a teaspoon seems like a lot. First thing in the morning with some water is really good for your adrenals, to reduce the chance of adrenal fatigue. So that's a nice little bit of information. And it is 11 minutes after 8 in the morning. I make my chocolate in the morning. I have chocolate for breakfast. This is Chaga powder from the amazing Harmonic Arts. And I put some of that in. And what's the other thing I want to put in? I want to put some chlorella powder in. So I like to put in, I would say I put in about 1.5 to 2 times as much powder as there is liquid. And I have a feeling my oil is melted, almost. So like I say, you don't actually need the water to come to a boil. You just need it to warm up. And so it never becomes not raw. Last thing, oh no, I'm gonna add a little bit of liquid stevia. The only reason I have liquid stevia is for a very specific recipe that I tried from the spunkycoconut.com. So I just put in 2 drops of liquid stevia, because this stuff is really powerful. If you don't have stevia at home or you don't like it, you can use honey to sweeten it, or you can use coconut sugar. Okay, the water's about to boil, so I'm turning it off and taking this off. And then I'm going to take the bowl out, wipe the bottom, and you can see what it looks like right now. Looks kind of gross, but then you start to stir it around, and it all incorporates and it gets nice and creamy. It's pretty runny, so I might, at this point, I might put a little bit more of any of these powders in. Did I show you everything? Chlorella is another powder that I put in. Chaga mushrooms, and then I'm gonna add the pièce de résistance, some essential oils to flavor it. And I think today what I have is lemon, which is an amazing addition. Orange, I think that's what I'm gonna put in.
Orange and lemon,
which is turmeric. I'm going to put some of that in. Turmeric is so good for us, anti-inflammation, and then peppermint, which is what I put in what I made earlier today. This is already my second batch at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to put some sweet orange in. Also, what I learned from Dave Asprey's website, and I was so excited to read, is that the raw cacao, when you get the non-toxin filled stuff, I'm definitely putting more powder in here. Raw cacao is also good for inflammation, reduces inflammation, and it's super good for heart health, and which I think works on all levels, energetic and emotional as well as physical. Not that he mentions that, but that's okay. That's a bit beyond Western science's scope of imagination right now. But it's, yeah, the benefits are pretty incredible for chocolate, which is a relief because I like my chocolate and I was kind of feeling like I shouldn't be eating it. But then I realized with this reading that I just shouldn't be eating chocolate that you buy at the store. You should make your own. So this is really good to eat in this stage when it's still warm and melty.
Okay.
I love it. But it's also, and it really needs the mesquite powder. It's just not the same without it. I found these little, what are they called? These little cups at the grocery store, or not at the grocery store, at the silicone cups at the thrift store. I found 12 of them for $1.50. So I've started putting them into the cups and putting them in the fridge and forcing myself to be patient and wait for it to solidify. And that's a really nice way to do it too. And usually can you stop please? I'll put 3 or 4 cups in the fridge, and then whatever's left in the bowl I'll eat while it's still warm. So those guys just go straight in the fridge. And then when you've been patient for 10 or 15 minutes, you can bring your cup out. This is just like on a cooking show. I have one here from earlier today. And with the silicone cups, they're so handy. You just pop them out. And then you got your little cup of chocolate, and have a bite. I put a little bit of, I don't have chili powder, but I put it, she doesn't always like it. And it tastes different every time I make it, so sometimes, according to Natasha, it's a winner. I always think it's a winner. I put a little bit of cayenne pepper in this one. I'm going to show you every ingredient. Cayenne pepper. I don't have any chili pepper, but the cayenne was closest thing I had, so I added a little bit of that, and it's definitely got a kick. I put hardly any in, and you can taste it and feel it. And this one also has peppermint oil in it, which always gives a nice little bit of tingly sensation on your skin, so that's that. So that's how you make chocolate. Super easy. I definitely need to get the mesquite powder to add that touch to it. Mesquite powder does not taste like barbecue. It's totally different flavor when it's ground up. And now you know how to make chocolate at home. You don't need to have a goofy 6-year-old running around getting in the way. But make some chocolate, enjoy it, let me know about it, and see you soon.